Hey guys, and welcome to a watch list with me, the StonkDad. So I usually do watch lists that are written out, kind of like you see here on your screen. But over the past few weeks, I've been doing a video format watch list, I feel like it's helped you guys a little bit more in actually reading my watch list. So if I put it on a watch list vocally and in a video format, it gets you guys a little bit more engaged in what I do every single week. So without further ado, I do not want to bore you guys too much. Let's get right into what I usually talk about. So the first thing I usually look for are the cumulative gamma exposure levels, which essentially means where market makers are positioned going into the next week and months or whatever. So all this, what you see here on your screen, is all expiration gamma exposure. If you guys aren't familiar with what that is, I have tons of videos going over what that is on some of my most popular videos going over what gamma exposure is. But for the sake of this video, and make it lengthy, I'm not going to really explain it all that much. But essentially what we're looking for here is where dealers are positioned, where they have to move the market to, where they have to hedge, and where they will pull price towards certain levels on the S&P 500. So on this chart here, I go off of the SPY gamma exposure. So what you see here are positive levels and negative levels. Positive levels are usually support levels, resistance levels where price tends to reject or bounce off of. So as you can see here, this is a massive level at 680 on SPY. We did break above 680 last week. On Friday, actually, we got almost down to 680 and we bounced off of it. But notice how we got to 680, broke through it, came back down, and we're bouncing off of it on, let's see, what is this, Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So since price broke above that and we bounced off of it again, support level going into Friday, I do think that we will stay above that level. And if we do come back down to retest it, I'd be interested to see what price does at that point. But since we're in a bullish trend, you can expect a bounce off that level if we do get a pullback there. But there's always an opportunity that this might break. It's a big positive level, which it can happen. We'd be targeting these lower negative gamma levels if we do get down below that 680 level. So if we do get back down below 680, I'd be targeting 675 and 674, this little batch here, and then 670 would be the next one. But above 680, we can look for these pulls, 682, 685, and then 691, it looks like. We did hit 684, it looks like, or 683-ish is where we closed on Friday. And then a post-market, it looks like we almost got to 684. So if we're continuing this trend and looking at futures, I do think futures opened up. Oh, it did open up a little bit green. It's pretty much flat though. For the most part, we are trending down just a tad. But yeah, for the most part, I'd be looking for either a pullback to that 680 level and a bounce off of it, or if we just flush through it, we'd be targeting those lower levels. But I do really think that we will hold that 680 level and go for these. These aren't very big levels here, but I do think that we'll hit 685 at least, which is our most negative level that you see right here. Okay, enough about that. Let's see what else we talk about here. The economic calendar. So have that pulled up already. On Monday, we do have Fed Powell speaking to us at 20 p.m. So that's after the market closes. So that's not really going to affect us all that much. We do have ISM manufacturing PMI at 10 a.m. Eastern, which is 30 minutes after the market opens. Or excuse me. Yeah, 30 minutes after the market opens, I think. Yeah. Then we have job openings, JOLTS job openings on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Global services PMI, these are all 3-star or like red folders, what they call it, news events. So we have S&P Global Services PMI on Wednesday, jobless claims on Thursday, and PCE, core PCE on Friday. So those are all the news events going on. We have a little bit of earnings, but I made a separate post about that. Nothing really too crazy as far as that, but let's see. We can go over the flow map now. Going over to here. So what flow map is, it just shows the overall premiums putting into specific expirations in the market. So here's our flow map. I like to look at the weekly premiums. So going into next week, the December 5th expiration which is Friday. Looks like we have pretty much all calls, 33 million net in call premium, and then only 1.9 million in put premium. So the bulls are far outweighing the bears, as you can see with the last week pump. We got a huge bounce last week going into the close of November. Okay. What else do we got here? So some high volume cheap contracts. Take a look at that. Looks like we have pretty much puts across the board. Tesla, Nvidia, more Tesla, lots of Tesla and Nvidia. Honestly, I think that these are all weeklies too, so I'd be looking at those. I think we got those last week, and I honestly think that those people rolled those contracts over to the week after that, which is this Friday, because last week I did see a lot of Tesla and Nvidia puts as well. So it's likely that those people that were holding those rolled those over to the week, the next week. Okay, I think that is all that I go over on my watch list. Yeah, about 6-7 minutes or so. But yeah, guys, so I hope we all have a good week. We had a wonderful month of November. I want to continue that trend up, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful week. First week of December, so let's get after it. Let's follow the data, keep our strategies going, and I will see you guys in the live streams.